Yeah. Les.
We built a community of 650,000 people around Cassie on MySpace. All of a sudden, MySpace wasn't the cool place to go. You had to go build that community all over again on whatever the new dope social media outlet was, you know? And so, you know, I say it feels great, but you gotta take it with a grain of salt. It feels great to keep playing on it. Go ahead.
Do you know Fantasy Casserole?
Do I know?
Fantasy Casserole?
Yes, I know Lawson. All right, yeah, that was an easy one. Go ahead, yeah. A lot of artists say that music has color. So for me, it's I actually do. I agree with that. I actually see colors when I'm playing music. You know, so I think that maybe that's what it means. That's what it means for me. That if I close my eyes, I hear melodies. I actually see a tapestry of colors. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And what I did, which was like super revolutionary, is if you go to my Twitter account, my direct email and phone number are there. And you know, a lot of people like, man, you crazy, you get all these messages, you crazy people and folks stalking you and everything. But you know, you find that the cream rises to the top in terms of people who really are looking for inspiration and insight, etc. And so, you know, feel free to hit me direct at any time if you feel like you need inspiration or whatever. Right here, let's just go across. Am I going to make any more of these type of videos? Yes, I actually, like I said, when I was in Bulgaria working with the Youth Symphony Orchestra, you know, filmmaking is one of my passions as well, and so we made a concert film around it. You get some more insight into the work that we're doing on the technology side as well.
Now with all that you've achieved, like in your music career and everything, what are your next goals, like to contribute to the art form and just in life in general, besides your Renegades project?
Yeah, the Renegades project got to get scaled out to anybody that wants to use it to build a career for themselves. And so that's really what the next goal is. It's to his point, you know, what's going to be the disruptive, innovative solution. I'm interested in taking what I've been able to do without iTunes, right? I'm interested in taking that and providing that as a blueprint for anybody who wants to use it. Any creator, any entrepreneur, anybody, you could be a painter and you want to know who your customers are. That's really what we're doing here. And I'm trying to be that example for them.
Second is real quick, you need a saxophone player in your live band?
I need a saxophone player in my live band. It depends on what the live show requires. But if I need a brass section, like I said, you know how to reach me direct. All right?
Who are some of like your musical influences? How have they affected your writing?
Musical influences and who affected me, like I said, I think I spoke to that before, Stevie Wonder. For a lot of reasons. Number one, he put his first record out when he was like 11. After that, I mean, literally anyone hands down, if you ask for, you know, somebody that people respect, Stevie Wonder, Prince, Jimi Hendrix, you know, those are really my guys. And then, you know, most recently, like more modern folks, D'Angelo, Prince, D'Angelo, Raphael Sadiq, and that collaboration that they put together. Obviously, I love rap and hip hop, you know, so from Kanye West, Jay-Z, Jersey, Kendrick, I like what they're doing, I like what they're offering. I even like what 2 Chainz is offering to the culture because he's everything that rap is really supposed to be in terms of braggadocio and wearing all the chains and wearing all the, you know, saying all the most outlandish things because, you know, it's entertaining. So I pull inspiration from everybody. Go ahead.
When you're writing, is there anybody like recently now that's affecting like the way you write music? Because like when I hear your stuff, your chord progressions aren't very like commercialized. You can tell like you know music and you appreciate it. So is there anybody now that's inspiring you instead of like people from
anybody now that's inspiring me? I mean, just my audiences around the world, they inspire me, you know. When I think, you know, when I'm like, you know, I'll take, you know, just take a few minutes, you know, so when I'm like, you know. know, what I'm thinking about, you know, so I might be, you know, the record might be a real trap record or something, and then I might just have the, you know, I might just have that idea that, oh, but when I go on stage, and when I'm on stage, I want to be. You know, if I hear something and be like, you know, put your lighters up, you know, and so I just feel the moment, and I can predict what that moment is going to be because I can actually see it and envision it while I'm, you know, sitting at the key. So, you know, I might be all, I put my paper in that paper bag. You know, we go from that to like, put your lighters up, put your lighters in the sky for love, put your lighters up. And I know people are going to take their phones out and do like this and literally go from that moment in the studio in Berlin, coming up with that idea, to getting on stage in front of 1,800 people in Paris and saying, yo, this is the moment of truth. That inspiration, that idea of actually taking the music there in the studio and recording, it's called Only the Lonely off the new record. Is that actually going to work in front of these people? Because you don't have control over how people respond, right? So I go there in the music because I have a vision, and it's always so amazing. It actually feels better than hearing your record on the radio, right? Because you'll have an idea for where the music should go, and what you want people to do when they hear that part of the song. Put your lighters up. Put your lighters in the sky for love. Put your lighters up. And then all of a sudden you start seeing the phones come out, and people just going like this, and oh man, you know, they're putting on the light, and they're going like this. You know, it's 1,800 people, and people behind you like, yo, I was there in the studio when you did that, yo. He told me everybody was going to have their flashlights up. Wow, this is crazy. I mean, and that's also so awesome for me too. Like my internship program is super rigorous if you want to get into it, but it's literally hands down. And plus, I've been from an intern in like Puff's camp to being an intern. For me, it's a crazy difference. And the people that actually make it into the internship program, they have that ability to be sitting in the studio at that moment and watch that moment of inspiration come all the way to execution, and be standing on the side of the stage like, wow, man, I remember when he was in the studio said this was going to happen. This is crazy. I got to put this on Instagram. You know, it's crazy. So that's really, I think I'm really mostly inspired really by the live experience. And, you know, if you've never been to one of my live shows, I really encourage you to come, because, you know, me standing up here talking about like life and, you know, inspiration and everything is totally different from when I got the lights, you know, and the keys and the band playing and maybe a saxophone, you know, it's totally different, you know? Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. So, in terms of your music career and as well as like press and media, how did you balance that? And you being an artist, how do you feel about press?
How do I feel about press?
Yeah.
I feel like press is extremely challenging to measure the effectiveness of press, right? Because I'll tell you this, a lot of people, they actually pay a lot of money to get press, right? And I always ask them, I say, okay, you're paying all this money to get press, and you might only get like a blog post or something on somebody's blog, right? How many of you in this room can tell me, let's just go back to January, December, November. Tell me who was on the cover of GQ in November. The cover. The cover. Right? So when I think about press, I used to be caught up in press. Oh, I want to get in GQ, I want to be in details. Yo, I'm seeing A$AP Rocky, yo, he's in Vogue magazine, yo, I want to be in all that. And then I realized, like, that's even almost more crazy of a fleeting moment, right? Because at least when your record's on the radio, if you're doing really well, you might actually get it spun over and over again, right? If you're on the cover of GQ and it sells a lot, they don't put you on the cover the next month, right? Because then, like, you know, LeBron James is on the cover of GQ every month. That's it, you know? So I started to really realize, and I think that's something that's also very interesting about the internet, right? Is that it also kind of like lifts the veil of like what press is important. When you look at like the emergence of like the Huffington Post, or you look at the emergence of even like World Star Hip Hop, what is press? Is press almost like another form of entertainment almost, right? Like we almost believe anything that the press says. I mean, there's supposed to be journalistic integrity, right? But if CNN says, yo, somebody got bombed in Kosovo, how do you check that, right? How do you check it, right? There was a movie, I guess, called Wag the Dog. It's like, yo, we're gonna create a movie studio and like, we need to create a war to make people feel better about the president. I mean, so my thing is, with press is like, look, and a lot of times, like, you know, people got opinions. Why do I care about somebody's opinion? I mean, you know, maybe they're a great critic and they, you know, they predicted like whose albums are gonna do well. At the end of the day, for me, and what's important for me with this model is, what do the people who are actually supporting my music think, right? Because like, you know, like I said, press, I think, you know, in a lot of ways it's hard to measure how effective it is. You know, I think it's overrated. I think a lot of times people put press kits together because, you know, they need a different sort of validation, you know? So it's like, hey, I'm an artist, let me make a press kit. So in case you never heard of me, this is what GQ said. This is what All Hip Hop said. This is what Vibe Magazine said. So I must be hot. You want to buy my album? I don't know, is the music good? You know, does the music, you know, appeal to me as a buyer? Do I want to support it? So I think a lot of times, like, press is, you know, not overrated, but it's very difficult to measure its effectiveness.
Yeah.